Hey everybody, welcome back to another brand new video on my channel. It's QuittyCat here, and in today's video, I'm just going to be telling you ways to stop smoking if you're someone that does smoke cigarettes, and if you are wanting to quit, and if you're just finding, smoking to be really harmful for your health, and if it's giving you a bad chest, or if it's just doing some things to you that you don't really like. So yeah, I'm just going to be telling you some tips on how to stop smoking. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to learn about the cigarettes. You kind of just want to do like a little bit of research. So me, I study plants sometimes poisonous ones, because it's really interesting. But this is tobacco. If you're in the UK or Scotland like me, these are what the cigarette packets are like. They got all these little warnings on them. They don't have any details. They don't have any like. There's nothing like cool about it, if you know what I mean. There's like no like colors. It's just plain packaging, really. There's nothing. It's just plain packaging. There's nothing on it. So I have these ones. Sometimes I use cigarettes mainly because I'm using cannabis. Sometimes I do enjoy smoking a lot of weed when I need to calm down, or if I'm finding a lot of things stressful in my life, then I do use cannabis sometimes, marijuana, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, also my videos aren't really focused on drugs. Like, I'm not telling you to use drugs. Like, I strongly disagree with anyone using drugs, whether it's weed, whatever it is, tobacco, cigarettes. I strongly disagree. What's the word for it? What's the word? I strongly discourage. That's the word. To you to use any of the drugs that I might mention in this video, which is mainly focusing on tobacco. So, tobacco is an actual plant, if you didn't know, and it's really good to know what you're smoking, whether it's weed, whether it's tobacco, whether it's something that's herbal, or whatever you're smoking, right? So tobacco is what's inside cigarettes, right? It's just basically tobacco leaves all ground up and rolled into cigarettes, basically. So enough of all that talking. So on the side, it should say something like smoking kills, quit now, all these little things. Smoking is, uh, tobacco smoke contains over 70 substances known to cause cancer. Read all these little details because these are very important. Now, if you're someone that's been smoking for about a year or 2 years, not that very long, this video is perfect for you because I used to smoke cigarettes quite a lot because I was in a really bad place at the time. I was pretty depressed, but that's for another video. But yeah, just kind of know what cigarettes are. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have tried them and said, nah, it's not my type of thing. But then there's some people that have actually became addicted to them. So yeah, like I said, this video is perfect for you. So those of you who are just watching this video for educational purposes only, this is what a cigarette looks like. Sorry if my camera isn't focusing very well, but this is what a cigarette looks like. And on the end it has tobacco. So this is a cigarette. It's not focusing because it's mainly focusing on my face. But yeah, this is what a cigarette looks like. You've seen them before, everyone's seen them before. Now, this is called a filter. It's white. I'm actually going to try and focus that on there. So that is kind of what a filter looks like. Sorry, this is kind of hard for me to do. So this is a filter. Now, what this filter does is this actually filters quite a lot of the tobacco smoke in the cigarettes. It doesn't make them less harmful. It just makes it look as if, they're slightly healthier for you, but they're not. So yeah, it's all white. That's basically what a tobacco cigarette filter looks like. It's completely white. So when you smoke a cigarette, it's really hard to explain how it tastes. It just tastes strong and horrible, to be totally honest with you. It just doesn't taste very nice. It's got a very weird, horrible, bitter taste to it whenever you inhale onto it. It's not very pleasant at all. It doesn't really have any taste apart from it just being strong. But yeah, that is what the filter looks like. Now, the next part is, what I want you to do is smoke the cigarette. If you were already using cigarettes, what I want you to do is when you're about to smoke a cigarette, smoke it, but keep the cork tip. Do not throw the cork tip away. This is very important. When you smoke your cigarette, I actually had to smoke a cigarette for this video, you will look at your filter and it will change color. See how that's went all brown and horrible looking? What I want you to do is I want you to look at that and just stare at it and look at it and then think, that yellow, brown stuff is going into my lungs. That is absolutely horrible. And every single cigarette that you smoke, you will look at that. Now, if you really wanted to, you could probably rip it apart and look inside of it. If you really wanted to, and you could see how horrible this really is for your health. So this is what the filter looks like. You can see how it's all this horrible dark stuff. It looks worse in real life than on camera, but you can see how all that disgusting tar, cigarette, whatnot is just in there. And that is what is going into your lungs. It smells absolutely disgusting. But when you look at a normal filter that's unsmoked, it's completely white. Completely white. Do you see the difference here? Do you see the difference? Look at that compared to that. Disgusting. Anyway, that's one of the tips that you need to look for. Just keep looking at that and thinking, that's going into my lungs. That's going into your lungs. That is horrible, and you're not even getting any good benefits or pleasure from it whatsoever. So what is even the point in smoking? I'm telling you from experience, smoking is not cool. It is not fancy. It's not a cool thing to do, and it's completely just a waste of time and a waste of money, really. So yeah, and I'm telling you from experience, if you do want to try it, that's entirely up to your choice, but do not let it take over your life. Do not, make it a thing. Like, if you want to try it once and once only, fair dues. If you want to take a hit, take a hit. But definitely don't take, 3 cigarettes, 4 cigarettes every single day, because that's just going to build up into your body, and it's going to do some things to you that you don't like. And yeah, that's one of the big tips that I need to say. Now, if you're also someone that hasn't been smoking for like 20 years or something, because this probably wouldn't help someone that's been smoking for 20 years, but if you've been smoking for, I don't know, from a week to maybe 3 years, this is another perfect tip. Now, this is probably my last tip on how to stop smoking. What I want you to do is I want you to take 3 to about 6 cigarettes. So I have 4 cigarettes left here that I'm not planning on smoking. These are 4 cigarettes. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 cigarettes, and I want you to take one and smoke it very, very, very fast. I want you to take long, hard hits on every single draw of this cigarette, stub it out, take another cigarette, and smoke it all, right? Now, this is the part that you're gonna feel, okay? This is the best way to stop smoking when I tell you this. Take the other cigarette, smoke it all, take long, hard hits on it, stub it out, and then if you feel like you feel fine, take another one and another one until you feel like you're going to throw up, and until you feel faint and dizzy and you feel that you're gonna die, right? This is called a nicotine rush, or just a whitey, because usually with people who smoke cannabis with tobacco, you usually call it a whitey. But if you are smoking tobacco on its own like a cigarette, you can get a whitey, even if you're not using any drugs. But if you just keep on smoking these, I would say about maybe 3 would be enough, until you feel really dizzy, really sick, you feel like everything's spinning around. Then you'll be completely put off by cigarettes. That's exactly what happened to me. When I had my cigarette nicotine rush, I completely went off cigarettes completely. I just wanted to throw up, and I think I did one time. It's horrible, but that is probably the best way to stop smoking, is to have a really bad nicotine rush to where you feel like you're gonna die. It's also called nicotine poisoning. It's probably the best way to stop smoking, but it can be slightly dangerous. I still need to read up a little bit about it, but that's why I stopped smoking, was to have a really bad nicotine rush and to basically not smoke ever again, because it was just horrible. It's a really bad experience, and it's something that is something that I just don't want to have, and I wouldn't really wish it upon anyone either. But that's probably the best way to stop smoking. So I really hope my tips have helped you. If they haven't, then I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't think needing to go back to more nicotine would be the choice, to get nicotine patches or certain medicines or whatnot. I think just stopping smoking altogether is the best way. To feel really sick after smoking is the best way, because it helped me a lot. You still might get the addiction, but the chances of that are very, very slim. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any comments or questions about anything in general, please ask me in my comment section. I'm actually going to be making new social medias accounts for you to follow or DM me or to chat on or whatnot. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. And have a lovely day.